Welcome to the AutoSuccess Executive Spotlight. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today, my guest is Sean Stapleton from Dealer Teamwork. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you, Brian. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Let's dive right in.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what inspires you to get out of bed in the morning.
You know, I'm the most blessed guy you'll ever meet. So best thing for me every day is helping others. Mm-hmm. I believe the more you give, the more you get in life. And, I've had a lot of mentors over my years that have helped me. And as I'm getting older in my career, I want to help others. I want to help others be successful and try to avoid some of the mistakes I've made in my life.
Awesome. Well, you and I are pretty familiar. We've worked together, and I'm going to date us a little bit here. We've worked together for 20 years.
I think I had dark hair when we first met.
I did too. I might have been a little lighter.
Yeah, me too. These are comfort pounds.
Yes. So, over the time you've worked, we've worked together through 4 of your companies.
Yeah.
What has made you always come back and want to work with AutoSuccess?
Reach, results, great people. You're always looking for ways to get your message out. And AutoSuccess is one of the best companies out there in the industry to get your message out, whether it's new products, changes you're doing, new hires. It's just got great reach in automotive because people trust your brand.
Thank you. Now, culture is really important in any company. It might be the most important thing.
Yep.
And you've always been really good at developing a healthy culture in a business. How do you do it? And how can dealers do it in their dealership?
Treat people the way you want to be treated. It's really simple. The questions you're asking I think are just straightforward, honest, and I don't think people ask enough. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And culture is critically important because it drives the results, it drives the expectations, it drives the behaviors. Mm-hmm. And, for me, we get trusted with marketing budgets of dealers, and they need us to drive leads for them. Well, if we're doing it ethically and morally right, and we're working with their budgets as hard as we would with our own, you're going to get great results.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to put your feet to the fire a little bit then.
Okay.
There are a lot of search companies out there.
There are.
What makes you different?
We start with data. We're a technology company, but really at the end of the day, we're a data company. And what we do is we look for the outcomes we're desiring, and we're constantly monitoring. So I think the 3 main differences between us and everybody else in the space is we're truly a data company that's using technology and automation to give our customers a competitive advantage. And then we hire the best people we can. We pay them on their results, and they have skin in the game. And it's all about the relationship. So technology, data, and people. Those are the 3 advantages we have beyond a doubt.
Okay. Now, I've heard you say this over the years, let the numbers speak for themselves. Yep. What does that mean to you?
So everybody can talk a good game, but we let the numbers speak for themselves. Let me give you a perfect example.
Yeah.
We have one of our OEM partnerships that we have. We have 15, we'll get to that in a little bit, that we're really proud of. But we have the highest closing ratio of new car leads in the first 90 days of anybody else in the program. So that's letting the numbers speak for themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Other things are underspends, overspends. We don't have that anymore. Let the numbers speak for themselves. If we go into Google Analytics or GA4 and we look at the results we're driving, let the numbers speak for themselves. If you have to promote your company constantly, you're not doing it right. Let the numbers speak for themselves. Brian, the number 1 lead source for us at Dealer Teamwork is?
No, what is it?
Current customers, referring us to their sister stores, their brother stores, their 20 groups, their friends, their family. That's the number 1 lead source, is our existing customers and our OEM relationships inviting others to join the family.
Well, I want to ask another self-serving question.
Sure.
How has AutoSuccess helped your numbers?
AutoSuccess is getting us visibility. A lot of times I'll do something like this and I'll say, I saw you on AutoSuccess podcast, or I read your article, or whatever. It's visibility and reach, mm-hmm. right? Dealers are constantly looking for something to improve their business. Well, we're not a giant company by any means, but we use media, we use paid search, we use social media, we use SEO, all the same tools that we use for our customers, we use to promote our brand. And we use the numbers to explain why they should work with us, and we use people like AutoSuccess to get the message out as fast as possible to the right people at the right time.
Nice. Well, let's talk about another term I've heard you use, and I don't particularly understand it. Precision spending. What is precision spending?
It's one of our differentiators. So instead of taking a budget, let's say $30,000 a month, we build micro campaigns. So instead of one campaign, we might have 15 or 20. And we break down the campaign spends from a monthly to a daily amount. Well, even hourly if you want, because people search differently at all different times. There's different search on a Thursday, from a Friday to a Saturday to a Sunday to a holiday. So precision spending is something that we have really focused in at Dealer Teamwork, and it makes a big difference. We build many micro campaigns and we monitor them hourly and daily. So there's not overspend, there's not underspend, and we're always looking for opportunities for other vendors to not do it right. Precision spending is looking at the data and being more precise than just doing it as averages.
Now, is it, when you say micro campaigns, is a micro campaign, is it like a vehicle specific campaign?
Exactly. So let's say you might say, I want to sell 100 new Fords, right? Or 100 new Chevys. That's not enough. What type of vehicle? What make? What model? What channels do you want to use? Do we want to use Facebook? Do we want to use Instagram? Do we want to use social media? Do we want to use SEO? We use those all together in our micro campaigns, breaking down to what would it cost you per day to generate the number of leads you need to hit your sales goal for that day, that week, that month, that quarter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's easier to manage and it's more precise than just doing generalizations.
Interesting. So, I mean, and I imagine if it's vehicle specific, you know, if I've got 20 F-150s on the lot and I sell 15 of them in the first 10 days, maybe I'm not as heavy into F-150 for the rest of the month until I get more of them in, or maybe I've got a whole bunch of them that are dualies, so I'm doing dually specific marketing. Is that what we're talking
similar.
about?
Well, let's go even further, Brian.
Yeah.
So the person buying the Raptor is not the same audience, same behavior, same personalized ads as someone buying an entry-level F-150. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Or like your example, dually. A dually is a very specific kind of vehicle for certain tasks. So why try to market an F-150 the same as a dually, or a Raptor the same as a Tremor? Right? You got to know your audiences. We are a data company, and the better we know the audiences and the people that are most likely to buy your products and services, the better the marketing results we get.
Interesting. Cool. Well, let's talk about total search, because total search is something that I've seen in some of your marketing, and I've heard you speak about it. I'd like to understand it a little better.
So it's using multiple channels together. So if you buy paid search from Dealer Teamwork, it will come with a SEO element, a search engine optimization element. It has recommendations on what we should do to the website, what we should do for higher conversions on social media, the keywords and phrases we should be using. Total search is using multiple marketing channels together to accomplish your goal. So let's use the F-150 example. So if you said to me, Sean, we're going to promote F-150s. Well, an F-150 is a pickup truck. We know the people we compete with. We know the vehicles in that line, right? We also know there's different levels of vehicle, but we're going to use SEO, SEM, social media, and other tactics all together to accomplish the goal. It's just not using one tactic. It's blending multiple tactics together to get the best possible results.
Interesting.
I can't believe more people don't do it, to be frank. Remember, hey, Sean, I'm just going to buy paid search from you. Cool. We're going to dynamically enhance the website for landing pages to increase the quality score, right? That has an SEO element. The paid search actually supercharges the SEO. And that's not buying an SEO package. It's using SEO with paid search. If you want to just increase your organic traffic, for example, we're going to recommend some paid search in there to supercharge it to get the views up higher, because the behaviors when they land on your website influence the cost of your paid search.
Oh, that's interesting. So if you're not doing it, like if you could do all the SEO in the world, but if you're not driving enough traffic there for Google to notice,
nobody can find it.
Nobody can find it.
Yeah.
So you got to do one to benefit on the other side. You got to do
Brian,
both.
what do they call page 2 on Google?
I don't know. I've never been there.
Me too. Good answer, big guy.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about Google for a minute, because I mean, you and I were joking about it this morning that I've got to ask some questions about our new reporting here at Babcock's, because GA4 is here.
Yeah.
And it seems like there are a lot more fields on my report than what there used to be. Let's talk about that. What does GA4 do for dealerships?
It's great. It's not last click attribution. It gives you better visibility of what's influencing and driving the behaviors you want. So we are very proud. GA4 was a big lift for us. We have hundreds and hundreds of customers and many, many OEM partners. So we were done with every single one of our customers having a GA4 account set up or using theirs before the deadline. But what GA4 does to us is it gives us more visibility in the marketing channels and the campaigns and what's working, what's not. Last click attribution is difficult because the last click is the one that's getting all the influence on what drove the behavior. That's not true. I love the analogy I learned from Google years ago. It's you go to a party and you get drunk. It wasn't the last beer that got you drunk. It might have been the 24 beers before that, right?
Yeah.
So GA4 helps us understand what influenced the behaviors, how did they engage, and it just wasn't the last click that actually drove the conversion.
Interesting. So like from a car buyer's perspective, if I'm looking at an F-150,
Yep.
and then maybe a week later I look at an F-150 with some options, and then a month later I'm looking at lease options and buy options, and then I finally I go to your website and I click on something. It's not that last click, is what you're saying.
Correct.
It's all those clicks
combined
together
that influence that behavior. Exactly. I'm a big YouTube guy. I love watching YouTube stuff. So if you looked at me and you saw last click attribution on me, you'd think clicking on YouTube is why I bought the car. Well, you didn't realize that I went to Consumer Reports. I went to AutoSuccesses. I went to my car dealer buddies. I went to this and learned about it. Right. And the more I learned about it, the more I was comfortable making that purchase. Right. And last click attribution, if you would look at me personally, you'd say, oh, YouTube was his influence. It was a big influence, but it wasn't the reason why I bought it. It helped influence it. I also went and looked at the specials and offers. I went and compared it to other pickup trucks in the segment, Chevys, Nissans, Toyotas, you name it, right across the board. But at the end of the day, I used all of that data together to make my decision of what I wanted to buy.
And that makes perfect sense in the car world. I mean, it's not the last pencil that made you buy the car. It's the meet and greet, the walk around, the service walk. It's all those things.
The reputation.
Yeah.
It's history with them, right?
Yeah, it's all those things. It's not that last thing.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Relationships matter also, right? The car business is it's a very big buy. Most of the time, for most Americans, it's the second largest purchase of their life. So some people are really nervous. Some people enjoy the process. I personally love buying cars. I love the car industry. I love the people in it. That's why I've been doing it, before, for so many years now. But at the end of the day, we need to understand what the customers are doing. The customer purchase journey has changed dramatically. This crazy thing called the internet changed everything. And now we have social media, and now we have, YouTube, and we have all these influences that are out there. Well, we should use all of them together to try to get customers to move the direction you want.
Well, let's talk about moving customers. And I'm sure you'll probably agree with me. When you meet somebody that's not in the car business and you somehow get to the conversation of how much car dealers spend on marketing, their jaw's like, what? No way. They don't spend that much. And it's expensive. Why does dealership marketing have to be so expensive, or does it?
Dealership marketing's not expensive. You know what's expensive? Bad marketing.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Because why do we spend money? We spend money to sell products, to promote products. Expensive marketing is bad marketing. Good marketing should be a multiple on a return on investment, right? Good marketing is how you get promoted out there, get people aware of your products and brands and services and location to buy from you directly, right? So I don't believe marketing is a cost. I believe marketing is a return on investment. And that's where GA4, good reporting, proactive, micro campaigns, et cetera, all come together to make sure bad marketing is expensive. Good marketing is how you sell your products and services and reinforce your brand.
Nice. I should have asked you before I introduced you. Do I have to now say Professor Sean Stapleton? Because I heard you were a teacher now.
I did. I got something that was really challenging and fun.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to be a professor at Northwood University in marketing, and it was super fun. Very challenging because the last thing I was going to do is go into those classrooms and let the kids stump me. But they are so smart. It sharpened my game. Northwood University is an incredible facility. More people should be aware of it. It sharpened my game tremendously. I had to prepare for class. I'd love to do it again. Teaching and giving back is one of the things that I love about life. And it made me a better employee. It made me a better student of the game. I learned as much from the kids in my class and professors as I taught them, I hope. And I look forward to doing it again.
Well, you have a lot of experience in speaking. In fact, I think I might have introduced you a few times over the years. Yeah, at least a few. But there's a big difference between talking for 15 minutes or an hour and teaching an entire semester. As far as the prep, how much prep did that require?
A lot.
Yeah.
Maybe smarter people don't have to prep as much as I did, But I spent hours every week prepping for my classes because I felt it was an honor to be a teacher, and I wanted to actually teach. I wanted to provide value. My goal was after every class, the students were a little bit better, a little bit sharper, and a little bit more confident in who they were. So their next journey in life, was easier, right? So, because these students are there to learn to go get a new job, right? And I wanted to be part of teaching and educating them so they could enter the world at a higher level.
Nice. That's a great caveat into my next question, because I wanted to ask you. I mean, somehow, Dealer Teamwork's not a very old company, and you guys already have relationships with 15 OEMs.
Yeah.
Let's help educate the people that want to get in the vendor business a little bit. How in the world can you get 15 OEMs on board so quickly?
Great results. At the end of the day, OEMs are looking for vendors that help their dealers move more metal, get more opportunities, sell more fixed ops, et cetera. And the reason why we have 15 OEMs and growing is the results we provide. I'll give you a perfect example. I recently, last week, got a quarterly update from one of our OEM providers. And I'm very proud to tell you, Dealer Teamwork had the highest closing ratio of new car leads in the first 90 days. So they're looking at data elements like that to pick which vendors are actually moving the needle. Dealer Teamwork moves the needle, dollar in to dollar out. We're one of the best providers in automotive history for marketing.
Nice. Well, it is interesting. Like, as I talk to more and more people at your company, there's only like one that I didn't already know. Like literally, like there's only like one. How many salespeople do you have?
Well, I believe every employee is a salesperson, right? So we have about 64, 65 employees. So I'd say 65. Now that seems like a weird answer, right?
Yeah.
But the person that answers the phone is helping to sell your brand. The person managing the accounts is. The way our billing works, all of it comes together. I'm very, very proud. We have Anissa Collins as our VP of Sales and Marketing now. I've worked with her 3 times in the past. I love relationships. I trust her. She's like family. And at the end of the day, we learn how to work together. Yeah. And the best thing I do is I hire people so I don't have to micromanage. I hire the best people I can so I can get out of the way. It's funny because, I might be the CEO and co-founder of the company, but I don't run sales. Anissa and the other people do. It's like my buddy Eric, one of the other co-founders. He wanted us to do SEO so bad from the day we started. Well, now we are in the SEO business, have been for years now, and we're absolutely crushing it. And that's that total search, paid search, SEO, social media, email marketing, all these things together to generate a lead. And work with people trust, and get out of the way. Work on the goals together, but let them run. Even if they make a mistake or two, so what? As long as you're ethically and morally right, it's great. I hire people on 3 things: attitude, effort, and ethics. Attitude, effort, and ethics. And from there, because I don't think those things can be taught. I think those are you either come with it or you don't.
Yeah. I agree with you about the sales. I mean, Ashley and Bryn are sitting out there right now. And
Great people, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, when you walked in, they talk to you. I mean, they know they're here to help us. Like if they make you and I look great on this video,
which is not easy.
It is not. Well, you don't know how many filters we have going on, right? But yeah, I agree with you. Like everybody in your company is in sales because you only have to mess up once, and it takes 1,000 perfect experiences to make up for one bad one.
Yep. And I don't really like selling. That sounds crazy. I like showing. I like solving problems. I like listening to the dealer to understand what are their needs. What are they trying to accomplish? And then we present them with a solution that helps them achieve that goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
People don't want to be sold. People want to be educated on what you do differently, how you can move the needle, and specifically what tools and tactics and data you're going to use, as well as one other thing, excellent support. One thing that COVID's taught me that we see whether they go to restaurants or flying on airplanes or whatever, good customer service is a differentiator today. Would you believe that?
Oh,
completely. So I want to be known as the best customer service company in automotive.
I have another question for you. It's kind of related to that. Throughout your career, you were messing with phones when people didn't understand phones. You were doing CRM when people didn't understand CRM. Now you're doing total search and people maybe don't totally understand total search. Changing vendors is often very, very hard for a dealership. Why is it so hard, and does it have to be that way?
Well, we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Right? Change is hard. Instead of thinking as change is hard, think as change is an opportunity to do things better. Right? But naturally, humans, we're repetitive creatures. We like to do the same thing over. And I'm really bad at that. But I've always looked at change as an opportunity to do things better or get a new perspective or look at things differently. Let's be frank with each other.
Yeah.
COVID changed automotive. Fair?
Oh, 100%.
And what I'm seeing now, our dealers need help getting back to the basics, answering the phone correctly, getting the right inventory mixes, marketing correctly. I mean, for the last 3 years, people didn't even put prices back on their website. Look, payments sell cars, leases sell cars, right? So getting back to the basics, getting back to selling and listening and answering the phone and following up their customers properly, merchandising your inventory properly, because I can't buy from you what I can't find.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely right. You know, and one of the things I've had a lot of guests bring up is probably more than half of the people that are selling cars today weren't selling cars before COVID. So they've never actually sold in the competitive environment. It was always a line of people waiting to buy the next car to come off the truck.
And let's be honest, that wasn't reality. That was a fluke. You know, thank God it happened. It was great. It was great for the industry, et cetera. But the dealers that I see that are extra successful didn't slow the marketing down during COVID. They kept their foot on the gas. They kept training their people. They kept educating people on what was, what worked and what didn't. They tried new things. Not everything works. But, for every failure, there's an opportunity to have 2 or 3 more successes.
Yep.
Learn from your mistakes. But if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, true. I want to ask you, where do you see yourself and your company in 3 years? Because things are changing very, very quickly.
We're going to be even deeper into the data. There'll be new marketing channels available, whether it be, CTV, OTT, email marketing, who knows? Heck, during COVID, direct mail started working better than I've seen it work in a long time because people are home opening their mail, right? So who knows? You know where I hope Dealer Teamwork is? I hope we are one of the top, if not the top, digital marketing agency or software company in automotive. I hope the next generation of people are leading. Hopefully they're sitting in my spot today doing interviews with you or other people here. I'm really excited to see the growth of Dealer Teamwork. We are not looking to be the biggest. We're looking to be the best. We interview our customers, and we don't always take them on. We have customers that want to come on or prospects that don't fit our model. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't fit, I don't want to waste their time or mine. I'd like to be, a little bit bigger, maybe have the next generation in the leadership roles and be using data even more effectively to drive better results.
Great. Well, this is kind of my second to last question because I do have a doozy for you at the end.
Okay.
So the second to last question is for the dealers that are watching right now. What do dealers need to focus on, through now to the end of the year and then into next year? What is something they really need to focus on?
Go look at your operational efficiencies. Go inspect what you expect. I'll give you a direct suggestion. Go buy a car from yourself. Pretend you're a customer and go click on your marketing. Come walk in the service drive, get greeted by a service writer, go through the whole process, submit a lead. If you don't like what you see or feel, go change it. You should be constantly updating your processes. I see too many dealers that get comfortable. We made a lot of money during COVID, and a lot of people, have laxed a little bit, whether it be their training or accountability or process management. Go inspect what you're expecting, because I think there's a lot of opportunities to tighten things up even better.
All right, now here's the doozy.
Uh-oh.
And this question,
I'm nervous.
This question is for Gina.
Okay.
By how many points will the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and where will the game be played?
Okay, well, you know me. I'm scared of Gina. Love her, worked with her for many years. So I got to go with Kansas City. Okay. I know you're going to kick. Oh, hey! Yeah. I think I just got kicked under the table. I really think Kansas City's got to be top 2 or 3 teams in the league this year. I think it's going to be really hard to beat them, and I think the championship goes through Kansas City.
All right.
I hope you're not mad at me.
Hey, you know what? I disagree with everything you just said.
I agree. That's fair. That's more than fair.
Hopefully it comes through Cincinnati.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Be happy to just be in the game, though.
Absolutely.
After the beginning of the season, I'd be happy to just be in the game.
It's a great world we live in. Go embrace it. You only get one life, Brian. Go head first. Jump in, be happy, be humble, and just try to make the world a little bit better place. It's amazing what happens when you start your day with a smile and treat people great.
Sean, thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Great to see you.
Yeah, and we got to go fishing again soon.
I would love it. Again, I appreciate it so much. AutoSuccess has been a secret weapon of mine through all my companies. Great visibility, great, getting the word out, and just great people behind the scenes. So thanks again, you and Susan and everybody else here.
Thank you. And thank you for taking the time to join us for this AutoSuccess Executive Spotlight. I'm your host, Brian Ankney. Today my guest has been Sean Stapleton from Dealer Teamwork. We hope to see you again soon. This episode is Over the Curb and Burning Gas.
Thank you.